This is Ballet Ring.
Your most trusted, very favorite, extremely objective casting directors on the internet are back, along with the big shiny jar of ballet roles, because today we are playing round 2 of casting each other in famous ballet roles.
Part 1 will be linked above and below if you want to go watch it, but there were a lot of iconic ballet roles that we were not able to include in that video, and so we're here to knock them out today. The way the game works, if you're not familiar with it, we're gonna draw a famous ballet role from the big shiny jar, and we'll debate and cast whether Eden will suit the role better or Jordan.
Make sure you guys play along in the live chat if you're watching the premiere right now, or in the comment section. If you're ready to play, then make sure you tap the like button and let's go. Alright, so here we go. I'm gonna give this a bit of a mix. Number 1, the Lilac Fairy from the Sleeping Beauty.
Ooh, Lilac Fairy. I think she gets some of the best music in the Sleeping Beauty.
For sure. If you don't know the Lilac Fairy, she's considered like the most powerful good fairy in sort of the fairy ecosystem of the Sleeping Beauty, and she's the one who counters Caraboss's curse on Princess Aurora and basically brings about the happy ending that we are so fond of in that story.
She's a very gentle character, but I think ultimately she is very, very powerful.
Yeah, she is very, very regal, very majestic because she has a very high position. She definitely has that sort of presence, a very, very strong presence, but it's also a very gentle, benevolent sort of presence. So,
I know who I'm gonna cast immediately.
I think I know too.
Ready?
Ready?
1, 2, 3. Jordan. Without question. Without question. I feel like Jordan could really pull off that regal presence. It's a very, very ethereal role. Ethereal, but in a very royal, regal way. And I feel like that suits Jordan. Also, Lilac Fairy has a lot of really beautiful port-de-bras, a lot of very fluid port-de-bras, and I feel like I like Jordan's port-de-bras a lot.
Okay, let's do the next one. Oh, we're staying in the Sleeping Beauty category. Princess Florine. This one is a cute role. It's not a major character in the Sleeping Beauty. It's just a little divertissement at the 3rd act, the wedding scene of Sleeping Beauty. She got given a very detailed character description.
Yeah.
Aside from the fact that she's just learning how to fly.
I feel like even though she doesn't contribute anything to the story of Sleeping Beauty, I feel like the choreography speaks for itself when it comes to Florine.
Yeah.
Which is why I love the role. It's so clear exactly what her personality is. She's a very youthful,
almost naive.
very pure, and kind of chirpy and joyful.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, she has that sort of wonderment a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
Even this pose here, like,
you're looking at the bird.
and just looking at the bird, listening for the bluebird. It's such a cute vibe, and just
Very
those
cute.
little motifs in the. I love the role. It's really beautiful.
Yeah. Okay, let's. I'm actually I'm kind of torn.
It could go either way. Jordan could pull off that sweetness really well.
You can't give your opinion before you.
I know, but also I feel like I get typecasted as a bird a lot.
In your objective opinion, who would do it better?
This is hard. It could go either way. I feel like there's enough range, and like both of us can suit within the Florine range.
I think because there's that vagueness in Florine, like
It is very up to interpretation.
yeah, it is.
Okay, I think I'm locked in.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. We casted ourselves.
I mean, I'm honestly, this one could go literally either way. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. We'll mark this one as a tie.
Yeah,
I think we'll mark this as a tie.
Yeah.
All right, moving right along. We have, who are you? Oh, Swanhilda from Coppelia.
Ooh.
This one, I have to admit, is quite simple, but we will talk about Swanhilda to give you all time. Swanhilda is a popular village girl by type. She has a very, very bright countenance. She has a very youthful, not like youthful shy, she's like youthful, very energetic, very out there, very spunky. Everybody gravitates to her because she has that charisma and she has just that infectious energy to her. So
she's bossy as well.
she's extremely bossy.
She's a bit of a ringleader. She's actually quite the troublemaker as well. Like, she instigates so much trouble throughout the course of the ballet.
Like, she'll catch Franz flirting with another girl, and what's her initial reaction? Sabotage, immediately.
She doesn't even hesitate. She's like, first line of action, break up with Franz.
Yeah.
We're done. And And then she goes, okay, well now we're gonna break into this guy's house, mess up all his stuff, and we're gonna get all the girlfriends involved with this one.
Oh, of course.
This one's gonna be one for the history books.
At the end of the ballet, she does mature, I think, to some degree, but inside she still has, I mean, you can see in like the coda.
Yeah, she
the
has
variation. She still has that joy and that spark. You know?
Absolutely.
Okay, well, I mean, this one's an easy one. Hopefully you guys have had time to submit your vote in the comments or in the chat. 1, 2, 3.
It's me. It's me.
Eden is the epitome of that Count Girl energy. It's just that very genuine, down-to-earth sort of character. And Eden's also, I don't know if you can tell by our videos, but she's the cheeky, silly one.
Yeah,
Of the
totally.
two of us,
Yeah.
she's the weird one.
What are you talking about? I'm so serious.
Oh, so serious.
So serious.
So serious.
No, but I really think it would be so much fun to do Swanhilda. Personally, I think it's just because I really just want to be a menace. You know, I really just think there would be nothing more fulfilling than to just be a menace and cause chaos in a toy shop.
Definitely Eden for Swanhilda, without a question, without a doubt.
I genuinely think this would be such a fun role to do. It's on my
I would
bucket
pay. I would pay a lot to see you do Swanhilda. Like seriously.
I would pay to do so.
Next up, ooh, Teresina.
Ooh.
From Napoli. Okay, Teresina's a fun character. She is also a popular village girl.
Yep.
I do think she has a different character and sort of a different personality
from Swanhilda. And actually in general, like the overall vibe of the Ballet Coppelia is also very different from the scenes of Napoli.
Napoli, I think it's a lot more realistic of a scene.
A little bit more grounded, more natural.
Yeah,
if
that's a
you
good
would.
word. And I feel like when you look at Teresina versus, say, Swanhilda, you can definitely see that Teresina has a bit more of that maturity.
Yeah, I agree. Like Teresina is definitively a woman. Yes, very young and still has that playful nature, but she is ultimately, you know,
She's a strong young woman.
yeah, she's capable, she knows what she wants, and I think she has sort of more security in herself and is a little bit more independent.
As a role, I think this would be interesting because yes, you have those playful townsgirl moments, but then on the other hand, you also go into that underwater scene where she's like taken captive in the underworld and she suddenly becomes very cold, very distant. In a very ethereal sort of way. I think as an artist, as a dancer, that duality would be super fun to play with. So you would need to cast someone who can do both.
I don't know about this one either, to be honest.
It could go either way.
This one is
I feel like we have a pretty good range in terms of artistically. Jordan or Eden?
Eden or Jordan.
I don't know.
Okay, I'm just gonna lock mine in right now.
I don't know yet though.
3 seconds.
Okay, fine. 1, 2, 3.
But like by this much. By this much.
Yeah, I think Jordan would be so cute in Teresina because in that first act you have this nice independent girl and she's having fun with her friends and her fiance, and I think that kind of really suits Jordan. Also, I would love to see you in the underwater scene.
I would give anything to do Tarantella again. I love Tarantella.
Tarantella's fantastic. We
Much
did a
fun.
video on it.
Yes, linked above and below. We love Napoli.
It is your ballet happy pill. It really is.
Here we go. Ooh, sort of a new one. A rarity. I don't think we've talked about this role at all on the channel. Columbine from Harlequinade.
Ooh.
This is a fun character. The whole story is so much fun.
I mean, the ballet itself is inspired by the characters in Commedia dell'arte, which is actually where ballet pantomime stems from. So the whole ballet, as you can imagine, is very theatrical, very dramatic, like very big movements, overdone expressions, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
So it's very, very fun to watch, and it's very fun to perform.
But yeah, definitely the overall vibe of Harlequinade is a lot more unserious. It's meant to be funny. It's meant to be right and very unserious, but not supposed to be a deep piece of art.
No,
that's
not at all.
profound. It's supposed to be fun.
Harlequin and Columbine, they're kind of like polar opposites of each other, you know?
Yeah.
And
the fact that we have Harlequin, who is a rascal in a way. Like he's crazy, but he's also like super smart, super talented.
He's a trickster.
He is a trickster. And then we have Columbine, who is
sort of the Dulcinea of Harlequinade, you know? She's kind of that embodiment of female perfection. Uncommonly beautiful, of course, and very sweet, very kind, and very lovely in every way.
Yes, she has personality, but she's very soft, and she's kind of that sort of very youthful, young energy, just kind of full of life. She loves her friends, she loves a Harlequin, she loves all things beautiful in life. So that's kind of her.
She is definitely Harlequin's Dulcinea. Like, he will do anything to be with her. Together they cause all kinds of mischief in order to end up together by the end of the ballet. Who would I cast? Who would I cast? I'm locking it in. I think I locked in.
I'm so stuck. Okay, I'm done.
Oh, you got it?
I'm done.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
I think Eden would be good as Columbine because she's very expressive. Again, the popular village girl. I don't know. Maybe are you the popular village girl?
I don't know.
Maybe you are.
I can't escape the
Maybe
popular
you
village girl
are.
allegations. I'm sorry.
I guess so. Okay. Oh, Paquita.
Paquita.
Paquita's such a fun role.
Yeah.
though. I think she's very cunning. I think she's very smart.
Yeah.
Paquita was a princess kidnapped from birth, and so she grew up and was raised like, you know, a normal peasant girl.
She's quick on her feet.
She's very quick on her feet, very witty, and very smart, I think. When she meets the French nobleman, we really see that soft side of her come out, which is kind of the first time you really see that because she's always so used to having to, you know, fight for herself and to be strong on her own. And I think when she meets him, that's kind of when we see a bit of a change. And obviously when she discovers her nobility, we see even more of the inside princess start to shine through a bit more in like the last act. It's a gorgeous story, and it's just unfortunate that we don't have the original version anymore.
Yeah.
You know, like there was a lot of revisions of supposing what it would have been like. Paris Opera has a very beautiful recreation. Who would I cast in it though? I'm not sure.
I can't decide.
It's so hard.
I can't decide. I'm locking in 2.
Okay, you ready?
Okay, yeah. 3, 2, 1.
Oh!
Yes! Princess Jordan, you guys. Yeah, especially that final Grand Parade. I think it would be absolutely perfect. It's like Don Quixote, but a little softer, you know?
A little bit softer, yeah. I did Armida's Pavilion before. I do love that one. I've learned a few other Paquita variations, but I would love to do Paquita.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to the bottom of the jar. Oh, Sugarplum Fairy from the Nutcracker.
Ooh.
Okay, so the Sugarplum Fairy, we did a whole interview with Petra Conti from Hollywood Ballet last December, linked above and below if you want to check it out. We had a really nice conversation about her take on the role of Sugarplum, which was very, very insightful. And we totally agree. We can definitely say that it's not an extremely descriptive character.
Yeah, there's almost no inner narrative that's given to you.
And it doesn't help that every Nutcracker is different.
Yes.
You know, it really doesn't help. And some versions of Nutcracker don't even have a Sugarplum Fairy. Every production is different, and so I feel like every single Sugarplum is also different. Choreography-wise, with Sugarplum, it's beautiful, firstly, but also very, very difficult.
Yeah.
Sugarplum is very difficult. The variation is long. In general, just like sort of with the fairy-like ethereal quality, she's a very delicate character, very delicate steps, very delicate choreography, very refined sort of characters. I think I have...
I'm locked in 2.
You are? Okay,
Yeah,
ready?
I'm locked
3, 2, 1.
Yes!
Okay.
Objectively, Jordan would be an incredible Sugarplum because when you get into the headspace of the Sugarplum Fairy, it needs to be just pure magic. And then you have to have sort of like a very generous quality specifically towards a child. So throughout the whole parade, throughout the solo, even the opening to Act 2, you need to have that welcoming feeling, but particularly towards a young child like Clara. And I feel like Jordan, I mean, just like from me knowing her personally, she has a...
This just got personal.
I think she's very good at, you know, making people feel welcome and feel at home. And I feel like it would translate into Sugarplum really well. And also just the choreography is amazing and the music is amazing. Like, yes, it's overplayed.
It is definitely overplayed, and I won't say I don't get sick of the music sometimes, but it's still an iconic role that deep down everybody loves. So.
Yeah, I have so much respect for Sugarplum.
Yeah,
even
definitely.
overplayed though it may be.
Yeah.
I still have a lot of respect.
A lot of respect for Sugarplum.
Before we continue, we just wanted to highlight how fabulous Jordan looks in her Ballet Rain merch. This is the Ballet Nerd cropped tee.
I'm not sure how you can see this in camera, but in person it is definitely that perfect mauve Crayola colored pencil color. And if you are interested in getting your own Ballet Rain merch for yourself, we have this shirt amongst so many other items on our shop, so our link will be above and below in the description box so you can go and check it out. But for now, let's continue the game. Oh, this one's a no-brainer, Firebird. Okay, hold on. This is a no-brainer, you guys. Sorry, we didn't give you any time to dispute in the comments about this. 100% Eden for Firebird.
Not to be immodest.
With 100% certainty, I think Eden was like honestly born to do the Firebird. Obviously, every dancer has to be able to do every kind of role and be versatile in that way. But there is those certain set of skills that every dancer has that's unique to them. And Eden's unique set of skills definitely suit the Firebird. Those explosive jumps and just those really, really quick darting movements is definitely right up her alley. The Firebird is definitely a very mystical creature. Obviously, not fully woman, but not fully a bird either. But 100% fire. You know, she's one that likes to keep to herself most of the time, but obviously when she meets the prince and she gives him her promise to come to his aid whenever he summons her, she really shows that strength and that power. Not in a way that she likes to use her power to sort of exalt herself above everybody, but it's just that she doesn't need to be recognized, but she will protect those that she cares about, you know?
The music for the Firebird is next level, you guys. I would do anything just to be able to dance to that score because Stravinsky knocked it out of the park, with
and
Firebird.
into the next planet. It's that earthiness, but also that etherealness at the same time.
Exactly.
It's absolutely incredible.
It's like ethereal but dangerous.
Yeah, dangerous
You know.
ethereal. The opening variation absolutely slaps, and obviously the Infernal Dance is.
It's literally
It's infectious. It's absolutely infectious. But anyway, yeah, moving on. Oh, we're still in Firebird. Tsarevna, the beautiful.
This one is quite easy.
It's easy too, really. We'll give them some time.
Okay.
Tsarevna is the princess who is held captive by the wicked immortal Koshkai.
Yep.
She definitely is a very, very, very soft, delicate character and kind of gives that sort of help me sort of vibe.
Maiden in distress.
Kind of, yeah,
Damsel in distress.
very much damsel in distress sort of energy, especially when the prince comes, but also just that really strong love towards him as well.
She almost gives me Juliet vibes, like a little bit.
Yeah, that's
Like,
kind of it.
It's a very young, innocent love, I think, and it's her first love as well.
That too.
In some productions, she is the youngest of all the princesses. Don't quote me on that, but I think in some versions or in the story, she's the youngest of the princesses and also the most beautiful. So it's like she's been sheltered away, very protected, and like
Obviously held hostage by Koshkai.
and also
not
held-
allowed to see anybody.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like she's like almost this Rapunzel in a tower, so secluded. And so when she does meet Ivan, like everything kind of changes, I guess.
Yeah.
And it's like her first love, and everything's new, I guess, for her.
Yeah. Who do I pick for this one? I think I'm gonna lock in here.
I'm locked in so fast. 3, 2.
You did?
Yeah. Like the moment you said Jordan, I was like, I know.
Oh, it's funny.
3, 2, 1. 100%. I think absolutely. I think Jordan could pull off that youthful naivete very well.
Yeah.
And also it would make sense logistically if I were to be
You're in Firebird, I'll do Tsarevna.
We have a production, we just need an
We
Ivan
need one
and
more
Paquita.
prince and a Koshkai.
And then a couple monsters.
And then a couple monsters and princesses.
Oh,
and
yes.
monsters. And then we're set.
We're set. We're golden.
I mean, I would love to do Tsarevna. I think that the music is wonderful. The character, obviously,
How does playing with golden apples in an enchanted garden at 3 a.m. sound to you?
fabulous. I mean, what can I say?
All right.
All right, let's keep going. Oh, the swan from the Dying Swan.
Oh my god.
This one's kind of hard because it kind of, like we said in many other videos, this one had a lot of room for interpretation because the steps are so simple. It's meant to be sort of that foundation or that base for the artist to add their sort of artistic flair onto it.
Exactly. I've seen so many different interpretations of the swan, and I feel like you could almost go 180 with the direction that you go.
You can literally take it any way you wanted to. Like there's some ballerinas that dances a lot more realistic sort of swan, and they really paint that picture of like the dying swan.
The pain and the suffering that has to happen first before the swan finally passes.
Yeah. And then there's the other side where it's just a beautiful piece of art. It just paints a picture of a very peaceful, very natural passing, you know? And it's...
Some of them take an approach of like an older swan who's lived a full life and is like come to terms and accepting their death, I suppose. And and it's really beautiful to see that peaceful going out. And then, you know, there are some where they'll portray, it almost seems like a younger swan who has either been wounded or has been, you know, very sick and is really fighting hard just to stay alive. And then you can see that struggle, and it's like...
Either way it breaks.
Either way, in any way, shape, form, or fashion, the Dying Swan will make you cry. It's such an iconic piece of rep. It's truly an artist's solo. You can't do it if you're just a technician.
No, you cannot do it if you're just a technician. If you're just a technician, it will make you cry, but in a different way. I'm gonna try and choose now.
This is so hard. I'm trying to be objective. I'm trying to be objective. I'm trying to be objective. This is so hard. Okay, I got mine locked in.
Ready?
3, 2, 1. I think Jordan would do the swan better, objectively.
It's honestly one of my favorite roles to dance.
Yeah, it's like the #1 solo in my heart. It's pretty much the ultimate. To me, I feel like this is what ballet really is. It's that storytelling. It's like a ballet is ballet kind of thing.
It's a ballet is ballet. It's what really tells you, okay, this is what makes it different from any sport.
Exactly, that's what it is. I think that's why it's so special to me, I guess.
I like the Dying Swan because it's one of the only pieces of ballet rep that paints like an older character.
Yes.
In a very beautiful and respected way.
Yeah.
You know, like if you look at any other ballet or most other ballets, like if you see La Femme Garde,
like Widow Simone.
Like Widow Simone is painted in a very, I mean, it's still endearing.
Yeah, endearing and
very endearing, but it's in a very comical,
like caricature.
She's kind of that antagonist almost for most of the ballet. And same thing with Don Quixote.
Yeah, Dr.
Like Don Quixote himself, he's a crazy man. Same thing with Khitri's father. Usually he's just sort of a very clumsy old man.
Just a very like grumpy kind of old man.
But the swan, it's like a matured character, but it's painted in such a beautiful and like respected way, you know?
Yeah, it deals with aging and death or even untimely death, and it's just, it holds it in such a nice,
very delicate with it. It's just very respectful.
Yeah, it's a special solo,
it's
you
a
guys.
Very special solo. So if you ever get the opportunity to see it, don't take it for granted. It's special because every dancer will do it a little bit differently.
Yes.
So anyway, that was our soliloquy on the Dying Swan. A few left. Oh, Esmeralda. From La Esmeralda. La Esmeralda is, sometimes she has a tragic end, sometimes she has a very narrow escape from her execution, and generally I feel like the story, she's a very despairing character. She just runs into so many wrongs, and I think in general it's just...
I think it's a very dark, pretty mature ballet, I'd say.
Don't recommend for children.
Yeah, even though Esmeralda herself is a pretty, like her personality as a character is still very playful and energetic.
Yeah.
But they take this bright, opinionated, strong-willed girl and they run her through
the perils
worst
of life.
Possible scenarios.
Yeah, it's really, really horrifying what she goes through.
And that combo of like, you know, she's such a bright girl.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking to see her
get hit with
and a lot of it wasn't even her fault.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Yeah, so anyway, she's definitely the epitome of the tragic heroine.
Yep. Who would I cast in this?
Choreographically, I feel like first act is definitely that popular village girl. We definitely see that. But in the second act is very much
like Nikia almost.
Yeah, very much like Nikia.
Her beloved is getting engaged to somebody else, and then she has to dance at the engagement ceremony.
And the rest of it is just deplorable. Like it's just
it's so sad. Yeah. I think I'm locked in.
I think I am too. Okay, ready?
3, 2, 1. Yeah, I would.
Yeah, I was like, again, with just like the wide range of dramatic emotion and stuff, Eden would do really well.
She is a very passionate,
very strong-willed person.
And so she goes through a lot, but she also fights to the end.
Yeah,
you know, however the ending is, she is a fighter.
Yeah,
you know?
She's definitely a fighter. Of course, I'm always in favor of a happy ending.
Always. Phoebus, I don't care that you got stabbed. Your girl is about to be executed.
Yes,
go save her.
Go save her.
100%.
Okay, Raymonda.
Ooh.
Raymonda's another princess protagonist. I think in general she's a very subdued, sort of demure character.
I think she's quite young. She doesn't really know
for sure.
exactly what she wants for herself.
Until she has that dream and she kind of comes to herself and she realizes who she truly needs to be with and who she truly loves. So she definitely had a big character arc over the course of the ballet. So
you get to see her build that resolve.
Yeah.
You know, and it can be shown through her variations as well.
Yeah,
you know, her variations in the beginning acts are a little more demure, I guess. By the time we get to the end in the wedding, you can see that clap variation. You see that resolve.
The strength.
Yeah. You see she was gone from like a young, unsure, insecure princess.
Yeah.
And she's grown into a queen. And so you have that whole boom, like,
I know who I am.
I'm here.
Yeah. She's more confident in who she is and what she wants. So,
I know who I'd pick.
Okay, ready?
3, 2, 1. Yeah. I would just love to see that second act. The end of second act Paquita was a do. That's my favorite Paquita on like pretty much of all time.
Oh yeah. I love the whole dream scene, the whole act, and like obviously the Paquita where she's finally saved. It breaks your heart.
It's a very adagio role, so there's a lot of adagio steps in it. A lot of extensions, a lot of slow, controlled movements, and so I think Jordan would do really well in that.
All right, Clara from the Nutcracker.
Ooh. I have mine locked in.
I mean, I have mine too. Yeah, to be honest, this one's kind of a no-brainer. Y'all quickly write it in the comments because we're gonna show in 3, 2, 1. Yeah.
Me.
Because she's short.
I am. I think quite short.
But like objectively, like Eden does really well, and Clara, she's good at portraying that sort of childlike wonder.
I have been blessed with a baby face.
Yeah, Eden definitely has a baby face, so biologically very good for Clara.
Like even at 20 years old, I still feel like I
could do Clara.
I look like a kid.
Clara is obviously a very sweet girl. She's very playful, very youthful. Obviously, she's still a child, but she does also have that sort of mischievous, sort of bossy sort of side, especially in the first act when with her brother Fritz, obviously. I
love Clara, especially that first act Paquita and the snow scene.
Oh gosh, the snow scene is absolutely divine. It's so beautiful.
It's so good. I think Clara is one of the funnest roles that you can possibly do because ultimately you get to carry the story and you're the one that the audience is watching. Every little girl in the audience is putting themselves in your shoes. Yeah. So the responsibility rests on you to carry the whole story. Although I think I would also like to see Jordan and Clara.
It's totally subjective, but yeah, I think Eden would do really well in, I mean, she's already done it. I already know she does great in it. She's already fabulous in it. So anyway, let's move on. Last one, you guys. Oh, Titania from the dream.
Is this even a question, you guys? Like,
I mean,
is this even a question? That's not a question.
I don't want to be proud, but
It is my dream role, okay? It's my dream role.
Yeah, I think Jordan would be fantastic. I feel like Titania has a very specific quality of movement. She has a lot of fast, difficult choreography, but it has to really maintain a fluidity and a suppleness to the nature of the movement.
for sure.
It's like when you have a ribbon and you go like this and it kind of ripples like that.
Oh, yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. Like that's the sort of quality that you need. That quickness, but in a fluid, supple way. Like it's just,
That's a really good analogy of the ribbon. I actually like that. That was really good.
but like that's sort of, you need to maintain that like throughout the whole ballet. Personality wise, you need to have that, not like a filter, but like that ethereal.
Like almost like a veil of just like ethereal.
Yeah, exactly. But she still has loads of personality. She's a very opinionated character.
Yeah.
She is strong-willed. She's the queen of the forest and she's the queen of the fairies. So she knows she's in charge and she acts accordingly with sparkles.
With sparkles.
With sparkles.
Yeah.
Everything she does has this like magical aura to it. I think it would be super fun to see you shine in that role, honestly.
Definitely on the bucket list.
Yeah.
A must dance for me. It is the dream role. So there you have it, everybody. That was round 2 of casting each other in famous ballet roles. We really hope you guys played along. If you did, make sure you write your guesses, your opinions on who would dance the role better in the chat or in the comments so that we can read them, because we always look forward to doing so.
Make sure to share this with your ballet nerd friends around the world.
Yeah.
Play this game with them. See what you'd cast your friend group in, what roles they'd cast you in. So make sure to share this video and have a lot of fun and connect with your ballet nerd friends.
If you like the video, then make sure you like the video. And if you want to stay up to date with all the latest Ballet Nerd content, then make sure you subscribe to our channel. And we promise we'll keep you in the loop.
Anyways, I think that is all from us for now. This is Ballet Rain signing off. Until the next video.
Bye.
Anyways, sorry.
You hit the plant?
I'm sorry.
What kind of cold, sick, twisted person are you? I'm so joking. It's not even a real plant, you guys.